Long ball number 3 here on Wednesday, February 26th. The news came in yesterday. Leo Messi and Luis Suarez fined for their behavior at the weekend. The Inter Miami game versus NYCFC, match 1 of the season in Major League Soccer. The two superstars, the biggest stars in the league, and certainly for Inter Miami, got a little too handsy. Both separate situations, both players getting fined for inappropriate contact with their opponents.
Yeah, it's not exactly bad touch. That has a connotation that we don't want to bring into this, but it's illegal, I guess.
But no, is anyone getting fined for a good touch?
Yeah, well, I guess that's true. Obviously in this situation, we're talking about the most famous player on the planet. Did he feel entitled to putting hands on somebody that he shouldn't have put hands on? If you look at the photos, if you go back and watch it, it's a hand on the back of a neck, right? It's not a choking situation. I'm not even sure it's aggressive. I don't know if it's like, hey, buddy. Like, I don't know if it's like that. I think there is a little bit more animosity there, but it is certainly funny, because there was this immediate response, right? It's the first game of the season. There's an immediate response where people will go, oh, well, Lionel Messi, he's going to get away with that. And in fact, I saw an opinion piece. I don't remember who wrote it, but an opinion piece like, Lionel Messi needs to be fined by Major League Soccer for his actions in that after the aftermath of NYCFC. And I was like, all right, I mean, I guess we're going to get worked up about this. It's not like it's the biggest issue on the planet, but you do want the rules to be applied equally. You want them to be, if it's Lionel Messi or a guy coming off the bench who makes, $80K a year, you want it to be the rules to be applied equally. Now, here's where we get into the sticky part of this. Lionel Messi was fined an undisclosed amount. Major League Soccer did not publicize how much he was fined. This man, I don't know what his income is in total through various streams, right? He gets a salary from Miami. He's got promotional money coming in. He's got investments. He's got all kinds of stuff. He's Lionel Messi, right? He's incredibly wealthy based on the career that he's had. What is the pain point for Lionel Messi?
You'd think that the actual punishment would be like a suspension. Like, it's going to hurt him more to lose playing time. It's going to hurt the team more to lose playing time. But and money, that's got to be a pretty big fine to hit that pain point. Like, what is an actual dent? What is an actual dent in the pocketbook there?
Let's just say this flat out: they did not hit Lionel Messi's pain point with this fine. There is zero chance, because that is an astronomical number. Like, I was thinking, like, would $1 million bother Lionel Messi if he was fined? If he was fined $1 million, would it bother him? I don't think it would. I really don't. I don't think
that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. But if Lionel Messi had to clock a check to Major League Soccer for $1 million, that then went into some coffers for spreading the game or paying for a youth program somewhere, if this was effective, because that's usually what these fines go for. They end up with charity, right? There's a mechanism to have fines go into a pot for charity. If Lionel Messi did that, I don't think it would bother him. I mean, the charity part would kind of assuage any of the upset over this. I do think you're right. I do think a suspension would have been much more impactful if you're trying to punish him and prevent further behavior like this. And John is saying it here in our chat. Messi and co don't like it when teams get in their face. He does this stuff more than people think. And I do want to make this point, Ron.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi may be a quiet guy most of the time. He may not be overly public. He may not be out there. He may not be Cristiano Ronaldo posting a picture on Instagram of his abs every day. But Lionel Messi,
in ways. He has his ways of speaking.
Lionel Messi is a bastard, okay? Now, I say that with respect. Like, I say it with not love exactly, but I say it recognizing that sometimes it's okay to be a bastard when you are competing, right? The competitiveness is something I admire. As somebody who is probably overly competitive and has been in my life, I got thrown out of a Little League baseball game for being overly competitive. I see it in my son, the 4-year-old. I'm wondering if it's going to be a problem, how competitive he is. I can vibe with the competitiveness, so it's not out of disrespect. But Lionel Messi is not some church choir boy. Like, he has an attitude about him. And I don't even know if it's entitlement so much as it's just that's who he is when he steps between the lines.
You were talking about how, what he actually got fined for, putting his hand on the back of the neck of the opponent assistant coach. And while you said it wasn't an overly aggressive thing, when I watched that, it was almost like borderline mafioso. Like, it would be in your best interest to not do that again. Like, that thing you did, that might not work well for you if you continue that sort of behavior, and kind of had those very subtle digs. Like, I might not be the one that comes for you, but something bad might happen to you if you continue to call that foul or say those things to me or my team. That was at the final whistle. The Suarez thing was with a player, Burke Risa, right at the cusp of halftime.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could identify. If we're going to go with this analogy, Luis Suarez is the consigliere. Is that he's the underboss? Maybe he's the underboss. Maybe Sergio Busquets is the consigliere. And it kind of works because Lionel Messi in this case making veiled threats or perhaps making threats, or certainly using physical contact to express a certain threat. Last week, the issue was he was handing out favors, which was giving the jersey to the referee after the Sporting Kansas City, after the first leg of this of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Which of course the referee in that situation got punished with a 6-month ban from CONCACAF competition. He is still refereeing in Liga MX. So he didn't get banned from all games, just from CONCACAF. And meanwhile, Messi's not getting. No one's coming down on Messi for giving the referee a jersey, even though probably we should be saying, "Hey, Leo, what are you doing?" Like, you should say no to you. You're allowed to say no when the referee says, "Hey, can I get a shirt?"
Hey,
you're allowed to say no.
Yeah, interject. Be like, "Hey, that might not look good for either of us if we do that. Why don't let's take a picture together and move on."
Yeah, well, even that, though,
maybe a little
dicey. The referee is absolutely in the wrong, right? The referee is absolutely should not be asking for anything, any favors, any gifts, even a photo, right? Rob, you've covered soccer matches before. Mm-hmm. I've covered professional sporting events. What does it say right there on that credential that they give you? You can't go ask for anything. No autographs, no photos. You're not supposed to do that. That's out of bounds for a journalist, not much less the referee. But at the same time, Messi's complicit in this. And he knows he's not going to get in trouble for that. Or maybe if he does, maybe he doesn't even think about it. But hey, look, why not? Why would you not hand out a little bit of a favor? And maybe down the line it pays you back. It's an investment.
Well, we're learning that just across the board that things that get regular people to get fired or fined or lose their job doesn't necessarily translate to the top of whatever vocation you're at. Those certain rules, like something like, hey, I have a felony, I can't get a job at McDonald's, but maybe I could become, the leader of the free world. Like, those sort of rules are getting a little muddled right now. But one little small tangent about being complicit in bad behavior. Do you think that Messi, taking pictures with the kids that run onto the field, is that becoming problematic? Because, I know he has a bodyguard and people run on, but like if they actually get to him, he's like pretty cordial with them. Same with Ronaldo.
Yeah, I mean, look, kids are different, right? I don't have any. No, I don't even. I mean, criticizing Messi for taking a picture with a kid, I would never do that. I mean, the kids running on the field, they shouldn't be doing that. That's obviously different. The bodyguard is there because there's always a threat. It could be a Monica Seles kind of thing. Let's just hope that never happens. People remember that? Is that a thing that got memory hold? People remember Monica Seles?
I certainly remember that was crazy. I was like between 5 and 10 years old, and that was a very early sports memory. And it almost seems like I think people memory hold it because it was such a jarring, graphic, raw thing for someone to just run onto the tennis court and do that, and in such a cordial, polite sport. It wasn't like the middle of some South American soccer game and someone, jumped the 20-foot fence and got onto the field and attacked a player. Wasn't that Wimbledon? Or was that US Open? It was one of the big tournaments, wasn't
it? No, it was in Germany. It was a tournament in Germany. The Citizen Cup in Hamburg is what I'm seeing here. So it wasn't a big tournament. But
big player, center court.
Big player. Yeah, big player. She won the French Open 3 years in a row. She won the US Open, the Australian Open multiple times. I mean, she was one of the best tennis players in the world, no doubt. And yeah, that was scary. Let's hope that doesn't. That's the thing. We're not hoping for any of those things.
Yeah. Hopefully that is not a thing we ever have to deal with or talk about in the future. But that's our long balls. Thanks for tuning in for those. If you haven't already, I don't know. I haven't looked at the subscriber count. I don't know. We're on the 1,000 subscriber watch right now, and you could be the 1,000 subscriber if you go to YouTube. Well, you're a priority there. Morning Kicker on YouTube.com. Hit the subscribe. 5 to go.
Five to go.
We teased it a little bit. What did you think of those Jeopardy graphics I sent over?
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. You and I will get together on soccer Jeopardy being a thing, maybe.
Maybe that's the reward for 1,000 subscribers. We'll see. Follow us along on social media at mkickaround on X, Instagram, and Blue Sky. Write us a note, morningkickaround@gmail.com, or help us out with a little bit of cash. Ko-fi.com/morningkickaround. One-time donation of whatever amount you'd like, or you could schedule a regularly reoccurring donation. Thank you for anything that you can help us out with.